After spending a year in Sri Lanka, I've discovered the vibrant flavours of its cuisine and its deep connection to the land, history and community. Each dish tells a story, and living amongst locals, attending traditional festivals and sharing meals with families has enriched my appreciation of the culinary art. This immense experience has allowed me not just to learn about the food itself, but about the cultural significance behind each meal. I hope my experience can be passed on to you. Please enjoy. Sri Lanka is a destination that genuinely deserves a spot on your travel bucket list. With breathtaking landscapes, including lush tea plantations, pristine beaches, and overall stunning natural beauty. The island is rich in history and culture, boasting ancient temples, colonial architecture, and a diverse wildlife. Whether you're exploring the bustling markets of Colombo or the serene ruins of ancient temples, each moment spent in Sri Lanka is a memory waiting to be made. I've been living full-time now in Sri Lanka for about 1 year, and I'm here for the food, the culture, and of course the amazing weather. It has been wonderful. Today, we're gonna make a classic tuna fish curry. I just want to show you some regular or common spices for Sri Lankan cooking. So let's take a look at the top there. We've got some crushed chili, turmeric, chili powder, gorica. Gorica is a dried fruit, a little bit like tamarind. That's used as a souring kind of agent. Good for chicken and meat, and especially for fish. Goes in lots of curries. Cloves, mustard seeds, fenugreek or methi seeds, cinnamon. Of course, cinnamon in Sri Lanka is grown here. It's absolutely wonderful. Rampa or pandan leaves, curry leaves, and then curry powders. Very common. You get a light and a roasted. The roasted kind of goes in a little bit near the end usually. It's got a lovely, wonderful, just roasted flavour to it. And the common one there is the kind of base. But yeah, these are kind of, not all the spices used in Sri Lanka, but very, very common. The most kind of common ones, I would say. Okay. So you can see that I've got a lovely piece, or 2 pieces of tuna. That's 1 kg, which is 2.2 pound. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cube it up into kind of like bite-sized pieces, and then we're going to get some seasoning on that. I'm going to be adding a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of black pepper powder, and 1 teaspoon of raw or uncooked curry powder. I'm going to give that a little mix, and then we can just set that aside for a moment. So let's look at some spices. We've got some cinnamon there, a teaspoon of black mustard seeds, a teaspoon of fenugreek, 4 green cardamoms. We're also going to need a medium onion, a tablespoon of garlic, ginger, some pandan leaves, and some, of course, curry leaves. And also 1 cup of fresh tomato. About 3 or 4 tablespoons of coconut oil I'm using in the pan, and off we go. So in goes all of our beautiful whole spices, the cinnamon, fenugreek and black mustard seeds, the cardamom. We're on an above medium heat. We just want to kind of infuse that oil with these spices. 60-70 seconds only, and then we're going to add in our fresh pandan leaves and our curry leaves. Both pandan leaves and curry leaves are really essential for Sri Lankan cooking. Again, that's going to infuse the oil, give it such a distinctive flavour. So now time for that onion. We don't need a lot of onion really. I mean, a cup of onions, you know, definitely enough. We're also going to add the garlic ginger, a tablespoon of that, which is a 50-50 mix. I kind of, you know, peeled it and then I just crushed it up. Little mix there. Again, we're staying on this above medium heat at this stage. We'll just cook those onions for like 3 or 4 minutes just so they kind of soften a little. Next up, we're going to be adding in our tomato. Just slice that up. You can chop it however you want really. It's going to kind of really cook and break down. I didn't show you this earlier, but some fresh green chili, always good in there. If you're going to do that, slit them down the middle. I mean, optional, but I like that there. Again, we're going to cook this for a few minutes, just like 3 or 4 minutes, just kind of let it soften the tomatoes slightly. You need to be stirring quite often here. Okay, we're going to add some more salt. So it's about a teaspoon of salt and black pepper. And then we're going to be adding some roasted curry powder. In Sri Lanka, you get unroasted and roasted. So we're going to add 4 teaspoons of that and 2 teaspoons of chili powder. The roasted ones are much kind of darker and will kind of really colour the tuna once it's done. It kind of gives it that kind of blackening kind of look. We want to mix this around, you know, very briefly. We don't want to let them burn. If the spices burn, they become very bitter, so keep it moving there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add in some water. I'm adding cold water, 500 ml of cold water. We're going to drop that in. We're going to let that cook just for like 3 or 4 minutes, just to get some sort of heat through it. And then very simply, we're going to be adding in our seasoned tuna fish. That will all go in. The lid will go on. And we're going to cook that on this same heat for around 15 minutes. So there's our beautiful seasoned fish. In that goes, little stir, lid on, about 15 minutes. No need to stir it or anything, you can just leave it alone. The next step after that is we're going to remove the lid. We're going to increase the heat to maximum. I just want to cook it out for maybe 7 or 8 minutes, just to kind of reduce it down a little bit with the lid off. It will kind of thicken, color will get kind of deeper, and then it's job done. The only thing to do then is I just finish that off with some fresh curry leaves, and this is ready to serve. This is an absolute classic, and it really is delicious, really delicious.